Sanchez on the phone. He's in Florida. I call him the Hispanic Serpico. 30 years ago, he was set up by Internal Affairs because he blew the whistle. And I just wanted to tell him the New York Times updated us on Serpico getting the subpoena. The subpoena is not to show up in court, simply to turn over documents. I say that her name is Susanna, like me, Susanna. Susanna stopped and frisked Serpico. That's what I say. Make that joke. So, Joe, talk to me. What do you have to say about this?
Well, it baffles the mind that the NYPD would attempt to even, involve Frank Serpico, an icon, a man that's been fighting police corruption for over 40 years. Why would they even attempt that? It's like stupid is as stupid does.
Exactly. It just brings more attention globally to the fact that Adrian Schoolcraft is a victim of police corruption. And you all experienced corruption about Internal Affairs. Tell us about your experience with the court system.
Well, back in March of 1988, my judgment on the Article 78 proceeding of the Civil Practice Law and Rules went in front of the appellate court in Manhattan. And my attorney, Raymond E. Kerno, K-E-R-N-O, who represented me, he was a member of the lawyer for the PBA, represented me. And then there was Goldie S. Juror is her name, J-U-E-R, if I'm pronouncing it right. She was the counsel for the city. Her job was to keep me off the job.
Okay, so she had a goal. And that was to make sure you did not get reinstated. Therefore, the NYPD did not have to admit any guilt, correct?
Correct. They had their draconian law, which said that only the police commissioner had the authority, whether you were when you were exonerated, and you came out smelling like a rose, and you were found not guilty, he had the power to either give you a departmental hearing or reinstate you. I was not given the opportunity. And after the hearing, my appellate court hearing, Goldie S. J-U-E-R, Joel walked up to me and asked if she could speak to me privately. Of course, I told her why not. She told me that what she was about to tell me, if I ever said it to anybody else, she would have to deny it. But it was bothering her. She had to get it off her chest. She told me her job was to defend the city. She knew, as well as other attorneys at her office, that I was completely innocent. I should have never been indicted and arrested. But our job was to prevent the city from me suing them. And,
right. And the city also the police department in the city never want to admit fault. They never can admit we did wrong. Sorry, correct?
Correct. But I stood there, she walked away, and I said, gee willikers, look at this. Even the corporation counsel is on my side, and I still can't get a hearing or get my job back. I felt like I was in Bizarro World. Everything's backwards.
Yep, that's the New York City Police Department and Internal Affairs, and the legal system often protects the criminals. Sometimes, sadly, my experience now is the NYPD, their behavior is criminal. You believe in the good NYPD. I'm losing more and more faith every day because the NYPD and Internal Affairs, in my opinion, are deeply involved in fixing me being violently assaulted 10 months ago. But tell me about how you believe that there are good NYPD, that support you. Tell me about that.
I have so many good friends, former cops, retired NYPD police officers, and from different agencies. There are so many great, good, honest cops. It's just those cops that, for whatever reason, turn their backs on the department, turn their backs on the citizens, and do whatever they have to for their own personal gains. But no, if we had, I would say 95% of law enforcement are good, honest people, hardworking family people. And I have a great respect for them because I was one of them. I was one of them. My son is one of them. My daughter-in-law is one of them.
Right.
It's just the few that make it bad for the rest.
Right. Right.
I respect all law enforcement officers as much as I can.
Well, thank you, Joe. And I just think the NYPD is so foolish to take a Serpico, who is known around the world as a symbol for fighting police corruption. He himself was a victim of violence, a setup, we believe, by the NYPD. You know of someone that even said that if he wouldn't have answered the call if he knew it was Serpico. There were cops that would have let Serpico die. And for the NYPD to serve him is disgraceful. I guess they thought they were being real smart and slick, but it already has backfired. They stopped their...
Let me end it by this. In regards to my case said the president, anybody going on having the same situation that I have, the police department does not have that right anymore. In other words, they would have to give an officer at least who's been exonerated a chance to tell his story to the departmental trial room and get his job back. I felt under the old rule, under the old law. So at least my case is helping other officers who are treated unjustly to get their day in court.
Well, thank you. And the police legal department made a big mistake stopping and frisking Serpico. That's what I call it. They're out of control. And this is just more. There's a big protest coming August 15th in front of the PBA, NYPD offices. People are very angry. And stopping and frisking an NYPD icon of fighting corruption, which is Frank Serpico. That's my line when you send him a subpoena that you want documents. Serpico has nothing to hide. He only wants to help people, cops that have been abused. Ridiculous. Thank you, Joe. I look forward to meeting you in New York City. Take care.